What's up? Time for another edition of 3 Point Stance presented by Mountain Dew. I am Meghan Triplett. That is Sean Roser, and we got to get to our stances from the week that was. And Roser, let's talk about the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies were back in action on Saturday where they took on the San Antonio Spurs. We got to see Trey Jones play his brother Tyus Jones. We got that epic picture. But the big thing of the night was the Grizzlies and how well they looked, how well they played. 17 3-pointers. Remember that whole let it fly thing? Yeah, they're letting it fly. What did you get from this big win against the Spurs?
Well, I tweeted it afterwards, and you want to talk about an overreaction that maybe I did have, but I really do believe it. Ja Morant's going to win us a championship one day. Like, that's going to happen. I believe it. He completely took that game over the last 5 minutes of the game. I mean, he totally took it over. They come out of that timeout, and they're up 5. San Antonio's cut into the lead now. It was 18 in the third quarter. Now it's down to 5 with 5 minutes to go. He whips a cross-court pass to Dillon Brooks for a 3. He drives underneath the basket, gets it out to Dillon for another 3. He drives and makes a floater, and then he finds Gorgie G. Game's over right there. And he ended the game. He completely came out of that timeout, took over the game in the final 5 minutes. Also, in a weird thing, I think San Antonio, it might be better for us not having Valanciunas against them than having him, because then you're inclined to play him more, and Aldridge will step out there and knock down jumpers all day. If basketball was only one quarter, and it was the first quarter, LaMarcus Aldridge would be the greatest basketball player in the history of the game, because that dude seemingly always scores like 10 points in the first quarter every time.
But isn't it really like only against us? Like I feel as if like it's a different LaMarcus Aldridge when he plays us.
He's always been, if you like look at it, I at least know a couple of years ago he was, and I believe he's like this. If you look at the leaders in first quarter scoring in the NBA, Aldridge is either at the top or he's like right there, top 5, top 8, best first quarter scorers in the entire league. But I kind of think we were better suited to play a little bit smaller. And maybe somebody like Gorgie, who he's a little bit quicker laterally than JV, it might be better suited for us. Like just that matchup. Now there are matchups where we have JV and we absolutely need him, and he dominates and he rebounds everything. But I think just this matchup with the Spurs, it might be better for us to play a little bit smaller.
Well, we'll get a chance to see what happens because the Grizzlies are playing them again tonight. So we'll see what Popovich adjusts and what the Grizzlies, if they can kind of come out with that same intensity, taking care of the ball, and also the defense. Defense was was very key in Saturday's game. And D'Anthony Melton, I mean, to go from didn't play the last game, which was the MLK game, to coming out here and having 20-point performance, he looked impressive as well. And we got that picture.
I'm with you. How impressive they looked having 12 days off. You thought there might be a little bit of rust, especially because they couldn't practice for a lot of that time. They didn't start practicing until just a few days ago. So no, very impressive performance from the Grizzlies. That was very, very fun to see.
All right, let's now get into the NFL, where we had a blockbuster trade, the first one of 2021, where the Los Angeles Rams and the Detroit Lions did a little switcheroo for a number 1 draft pick. So you got Matthew Stafford going to the Rams, and they're sending Jared Goff to the Lions and they're trading out some draft picks. Give me your stance on who comes out of this a winner.
Well, I mean, the Rams. For the short term, the Rams, they get the quarterback that Sean McVay wants or wanted. I'm sure he wanted Deshaun Watson too, but who knows what's happening on that front. But, I mean, Matthew Stafford is better than Jared Goff. Now, long term, I don't know. You'd say the Lions, but the Lions have won 1 playoff game since the 1950s. So, like, I don't know how many times Lions fans have said, like, the future's bright, and then, it's the Lions. So you'd like to think getting 2 future first-round picks. The Rams are going to go 7 straight years without a first-round pick because they traded 2 for Jalen Ramsey. The last first-round pick they had was the one they drafted Jared Goff with the number 1 overall pick in 2016. Look, I have a higher opinion of Stafford than a lot of people do. I think he's really good. He's never had a running game. Cam Akers will probably be the best running back he's ever played with. So Stafford's going to have weapons with the Rams. They got Cooper Kupp. They got Robert Woods. They've got weapons there. McVay's great at play calling. So Yeah, I mean, I think the short term, the Rams are a legit Super Bowl contender. I mean, they just they've been to the Super Bowl with Jared Goff. Then they beat Seattle in Seattle in the playoffs this year, and they were within one score of Green Bay late in that game, late in that playoff game too. So yeah, I think the Rams are a Super Bowl contender.
So the only thing I think about with this, obviously, I do think, like you said, short term, the Rams are a winner of this trade. However, when you look at what's going to be your measuring stick of what's going to be a success, it has to be getting to the Super Bowl and winning a Super Bowl. Stafford has 2 years left on his contract and his deal, and you're putting the pressure on yourself because you just traded away a quarterback who got you to the Super Bowl where you lost. So what are you saying about, okay, now we have Matthew Stafford. Is he going to be the answer to all of our problems and our questions? And then if you don't get to the Super Bowl, it's not just the playoffs. At this point, it's like, we got to get to the Super Bowl. It's a lot of pressure going into, especially a division where it's jam-packed full of like studs of quarterbacks, and it's really, really hard right now. And let's be real. If you got Tom Brady next year in the NFC, at this point, it's gonna be difficult, but we'll see.
No, it is. It's Super Bowl. Unless you're Tom Brady, or even seems like Patrick Mahomes now, like getting to the Super Bowl is not easy to do. Like it's hard for everybody else except like those two guys. So I mean, Tom Brady's played 20 seasons, has been to the Super Bowl now 10 times, which is unbelievable.
Oh my gosh, I know. Since you're talking about the Super Bowl, let's just get to the Super Bowl now, then, because Super Bowl is on Sunday. It seemed as if we weren't going to get there, but we did. And you got the Chiefs versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's taking place in Tampa. Obviously, a lot different. The Chiefs aren't getting to Tampa until the day before because they want to keep the same protocols because of COVID-19. But so that you don't get your whole Super Bowl week like you did before. But who's your pick in this? Tampa, it's a home game, kind of, essentially, for them. Who you got winning Super Bowl?
I'm going to go with Tampa Bay because I hate the Chiefs. So, I'm not looking forward to watching this Super Bowl really because I know they're just going to freaking show replays of last year's Super Bowl all the time, especially if like Tampa gets out to a lead. Like, oh my God. But this is the first year that we have been able to legally bet on the Super Bowl in Tennessee. I had Tampa Bay plus 3.5. I took them the second the line came out. I have Tampa plus 3.5. I also have some other things on here.
Okay, tell me.
I have Tom Brady to win the MVP. I have Tom Brady to score a touchdown. I have Mike Evans to score. I have Devin White over 10.5 tackles. That's when you know you're a degenerate, when you're betting on someone to have their tackle prop.
Yeah.
And I have Travis Kelce to score a touchdown also.
Okay.
There will be some other things. There will be some other things I put on, but no, I do. I like Tampa. I think Tampa's defense will make the plays.
You have Tom throwing a touchdown pass?
No, he's got one in.
Okay.
QB sneak. Okay. He does it all the time. He's like the god of the quarterback sneak.
Right, but it's like it's going to be like from the 2-yard line or the 3-yard line.
From like the 1 or the half line. Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, then I'm gonna go against you. I picked the Chiefs way at the beginning of the season on 3-point stance. I'm still gonna go with the Chiefs.
Yeah, what a bold prediction.
As you mentioned, it seems very easy. It's an easy pick. I am not. It's part of me for storyline purposes, I'm like, I would love that for Tom Brady. I don't like Tom Brady, but for storyline, it's like, okay, that would make for a whole entire thing that we'll hear about for the rest of eternity. But I like Patrick Mahomes. I like this offense. I like what they've been able to do. I think there's still some questions when it comes in. They either start slow or they just kind of like dominate the whole entire time. So I do think it's going to be an interesting matchup to see Patrick Mahomes' offense go up against this Tampa Bay secondary. But I'm going to go with the Chiefs. I'm holding my ground. I'm not going.
Biggest thing for Kansas City is they are without both of their starting tackles.
Yeah.
That is definitely going to be something to watch.
Alrighty, we shall see. And guess what? We'll be back on Monday to talk about it. Next Monday, we'll see who's right, and I'll see which all of your little things that you chose. Which one did you get right?
I'm always right, even when I'm wrong. I'm right.
Alrighty, we'll check it out next Monday. Thanks for watching this edition of 3 Point Stance presented by Mountain Dew.